Do you ever have an idea and then a while later just question everything? That's where we're at right now. Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm going to be trying possibly one of the stupidest things I've ever tried. I'm going to read 7 books in 7 days. Now, to a lot of people, 7 books in 7 days isn't that mad. I know a lot of people who for readathons do 7 books in 7 days or all sorts like that. For me, it is a lot. I mean, just for context, I read 7 books in the whole of September and I'm trying to read 7 books in a week. And I'm doing this very specifically, doing 1 book each day. I am not going to start any book before its day. I'm going to finish it before I sleep every day if I possibly can. That's the plan. I'm not doing short books, I'm not doing graphic novels. The books I'm actually reading are all, except for one, recommended by you guys. So a little while ago now, I did a video, which will be linked up there, talking about my favourite romance tropes and romance books and asking for recommendations based off of those tropes. You guys absolutely came through. There were so many recommendations in the comments of that video. If you liked those tropes, I would recommend checking out those comments because there's so many good book recs in there. And what did I go and do? I went and bought a lot of them. I went and bought 6 of them to be precise. And combined with 1 book I already had, I have 7 romance books. And romance books I generally find pretty speedy to read. I've read them in a day before. I've read them in like 2 days quite easily. So I thought if I was going to do this 7 books in 7 days, romance would be the way to go. I find them engaging, I find them quite quick, I find them relatively easy to get through, I don't get too burnt out. Like if I tried to do this with fantasy, I think I would die halfway through, so I thought romance would be the strategy. So I'm going to very quickly run through the books I am reading this week. I will talk about them a bit as I'm reading them, but also I'm probably going to be absolutely exhausted, so I make no promises, but I will wrap up at the end my thoughts on all of them. But as I said, all of these, apart from one, were recommended to me by you guys, so we're going to find out if you guys actually got my taste right. I don't know. We will see. They seem very promising. But just to really quickly run through them, the first is Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. This is the one that wasn't recommended to me. I already had this, but it's relatively short and I needed to read it, so I thought it would be good. And one-line synopsis is about a guy who runs a bookstore and a guy who runs a book club. And they kind of have a hate to love instant sort of connection thing, but big rivalry. And they come together through this book club and it's really cute. And then next we have Xeni by Rebecca Weatherspoon. As far as I can tell, this is fake dating marriage of convenience featuring a bisexual main character. And this is kind of about, I think, someone who their aunt leaves them an inheritance, but to access the inheritance they have to marry a guy, a specific guy. I don't know, it sounds fun. Apparently it's steamy, which I'm absolutely here for. We then have Well Met by Jen DeLuca, and this I think is hate to love, but it could be fake dating. I'm not sure. I feel like it could be a weird combination of the two, but I know it features a Renaissance fair, which sounds really, really fun. So this was recommended to me so many times. I think this was the one that was commented most, so high hopes for this one. We then have The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary, which is kind of there was an only one bed trope. It's about a girl who needs a flat and she does not have a lot of money, and so agrees to this situation with a guy where she sleeps in the bed all night and then he gets the flat during the day because he works night shifts. And you know, it's romance. It's only going to go one way. And then we have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. And I think this follows the sister and brother of 2 people who are getting married and they hate each other. But then when everyone at the wedding gets ill apart from them, they go on the honeymoon. And so they hate each other, but they're having to pretend to be married. Hate to love, fake dating. Literally all of these are my trope favourites to a T. We then have Boyfriend Material, which I don't know much about, but it's LGBT, which makes me very happy and follows a guy who is son of someone famous and looking for a fake boyfriend, I think, maybe, to kind of get around the press. I don't know, but I'm down for it and it looks so cute. I don't know why, I just love the look of this. It's giving me red, white and royal blue vibes, which I'm here for. And then finally, we have the Bromance Book Club, which follows a guy whose marriage is falling apart. And so he joins this book club where loads of guys read romance novels to try and get their wives and fiancés and girlfriends back, I think. So yeah, that is the stack. I am planning to read them in this order. I'm not sure which way around this is for you, but we're planning to go pink through dark blue just because this looks aesthetic and therefore makes me happy. And as I said, I'm going to be doing specifically 1 book each day, so it's not going to be just like try and get really ahead in the first 3 days and get them all done early. It is I start one when I wake up and I finish it before I go to sleep. I don't like cross over at all. That's my aim because I've done it before. I mean, last month I had 4 days where I read a book in a day. They were very spread out, they were not back to back, but like I know it's a thing I can do. But if I do complete this, I will have read the same number of books in the first week of October as I read in the whole of September, which would be phenomenal. So we're gonna give it a good go. I am terrified, and if you're seeing this video, we're gonna assume there was some level of success, maybe. Optimistically, I don't know if I'll manage this or not. I may just burn out completely, but we're gonna try it. So I guess I will come back to you when I pick up the first book. Okay, so day one of this challenge, I am already terrified as I am starting day one really late. It is 2 p.m. I was hoping to have like half of each book done by midday if I could, but I've been editing a video, getting it ready to go up this evening, which it should be, so that's all fine. But I do now need to read a whole book and it's already 2 p.m. and I really do not want to do the first day staying up really late to finish it, as that's going to make my week a whole lot harder if I'm exhausted. Though I'm already exhausted because I was up late last night getting editing stuff done so that I could do this today. But I've chosen the first book. At this point, I am still planning to go in the order I mentioned in the intro, just because they look pretty in a colourful stack, and that is literally just me. I just like making things look nice. So we're starting with Meet Cute Club. This was very kindly gifted to me by Rachel Kerris, and this is a male-male romance about someone who owns a bookstore and needs more people in his bookstore, and then there is a book club, I think, and someone wants to join it. I don't completely know, but it sounds great. This does have mixed reviews, so I'm a teensy bit nervous, but it sounds fun and fluffy, and if I'm completely honest, one of the main reasons I chose it is because it's really short. This is about 240 pages, 230, 240, which I should be able to do in about 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours, which I've got that time today. I have that many hours left even though I'm starting late. So this is where we're starting. The first book, the first day. If I fail on the first day, then I don't even know if we're going to continue this, but I'm determined. I think I can do this today. It's like the perfect reading day. It's really gloomy, it's really rainy, so I have nowhere I want to go because it's disgusting outside. So this is where we're starting. I'm really excited. I definitely have the confidence that I can read a book in a day because I've done it enough times. It's just whether I can do it for 7 days on the trot, but I don't need to worry about that today. All I have to worry about today is getting this one done and making sure I'm on top of YouTube stuff so that I have enough time other days, which is definitely doable. So instead of talking, I am going to go and start reading. And yes, I have literally matched my makeup, my outfit, and honestly I have a drink planned I'm going to make later which will match this book. We're going for the aesthetic on this one because it's day one and I have the energy to do it. We'll see how dead I am by the end of the week. Let's go read. So I've only read a small amount of this, but just a few really quick early thoughts. Firstly, it's so cute. We've already met, I'm assuming, both the protagonists and therefore the sort of people that will become a couple. I would guess, from the fact of being a romance book, that's who they are. It's super adorable. One thing I really want to say, because I absolutely love it, is right at the beginning there's a list of trigger warnings and content warnings, which should be in every single book that needs them, but sadly is not. But I really respect the author for putting that in there. Very glad about that. I'm loving it. This is really cute. Obviously I'm like 10-20 pages in, so I've not read very much at all, but very strong start. I am very excited to keep reading. Okay, so quick reading update. It is now just about 9:15 and I am well past halfway. I'm on page 140, so I've got about 100 pages left, which is absolutely doable tonight. That'll probably be like an hour and a half of reading, so we are on track to finish day one on a success. I did have to take quite a break because I had to have dinner and I've just been on a live show for a book club, so it's been busy, but we're back on track. I am ready, not got much left, and I am ready to smash out tomorrow, though I have just remembered I need to edit a video today as well. So might be a bit of a late night, but that's absolutely fine. We've got this. 100 pages to go. I've got this. However, for those last 100 pages, as it is now evening, I have decided I'm gonna go stick with the whole pink theme we've got going on today. I'm gonna go make myself a very pink drink. I drink quite a lot of gin. For anyone who doesn't know, I really like gin, and there are certain pink gins I really enjoy. So I'm going to go and make myself a very pink gin, because why not? And then sit down with my nice drink and enjoy the rest of this book, because I'm loving it. It is so freaking cute. I cannot cope. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I started with this one. It's been a really strong starting point for this week. So gin, reading, let's go. Day one is complete. It is about 10 minutes past midnight, so I guess technically I'm a little bit late, but normally I sleep at like 2 AM anyway, so this is actually for me like still considered the same day, and also I always just consider like the day as before I sleep, so as long as I finished before I sleep for the night, that counts. So day one was a success. I really enjoyed this book. This was super, super cute. This wasn't recommended to me. This was one of the ones that wasn't recommended to me. I think it was the only one that wasn't, but I had it, so I thought I may as well read it for this as it fits the theme of romance. And it was so cute. This was a male-male romance about someone who loves romance books and someone who's kind of like trying to get their life together and doing lots of family stuff, and oh, it was adorable. I am a big, big fan of this book. I don't know what I'm going to rate it. We'll work that out when I have some brain cells another day. Super cute, super strong start. But I am pretty much going to go straight to bed now because I need to get as much sleep as possible so that tomorrow I can start strong and read the next book. I'm not completely decided which one. I have a guess, but we will find out tomorrow, so I will catch you for day two. But I'm really, really proud that I was successful on day one. Like, obviously failing on the first day would be absolutely awful and really frustrating, and I do have faith that I can do this for 7 days. I do. I know I can. It's doable. But at the same time, I'm not sure I believe I can do it for 7 days, so good start. Ready to smash it again tomorrow. Hello, so it is day 2 of this 7 books in 7 days challenge. As I said last night, I did finish book 1 in the first day, so it's going well. And for day 2, I'm reading Xeni by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I have just read the first 50 or so pages of this while sort of waking up slowly before I could bother to get on camera, and for some reason I thought it would be fun to try and match my outfit every day to the book, which I'm regretting because I do not own much pink at all. This is my only other pink top really, and I definitely don't own anything this colour. So the best we've got is some sort of khaki trousers. This is what we're going with. It's close as we're gonna get, but this is a really, really fun, at least so far, book following a woman who has very unexpectedly got a huge amount of money from her aunt's estate, and there's a condition of this that she has to marry this guy for 30 days to get the money. And so they're being forced together, and it is so far adorable. He's really sweet, she's really funny, there's a lot going on. I get the impression she is bisexual, I think, from what I've heard. Another thing, like the previous one, Joy of Self-Pub, this again has trigger warnings in the front, which I love. I'm loving that more books are starting to do this, as it should have been a thing a long time ago. But it's really, really fun so far. I don't have too many thoughts, and I also started really late because I slept in way too long today because it's a Sunday. So I need to get the hell on with this, so I'm going to really quickly just do this. So this is going to be a very quick clip, and I'm going to go straight get on with reading this because I have another 200 pages or more to go. How long is this? 275? So yeah, 220 pages to go. And I do have enough hours, but I also have other things to do with my day. So I'm going to get straight on with this with my not very matching outfit, and I will update you later on what I'm thinking. Hello, so super quick update because it is getting late and I still have some reading to do, but I am just 100 pages from the end of this, so I'm well past halfway and I do have enough hours. It is 8 o'clock, so I've got 4 hours left, which is plenty to do 100 pages, apart from the fact I also have a video to edit and other things to do, but we're not worrying about that right now. I am loving this book. This is such a good recommendation. 2 main characters, both bi in a male-female pairing, which I just love and I feel like we need to see more of. It is so steamy. It is so good. It was so damn cute. I'm in love with both of the main characters. Mason, the guy especially, is just so freaking adorable. I love him. But yes, I'm feeling so good about this reading challenge. Like, I am surprised. I probably spoke at the beginning a bit about my motivation for doing this, but part of that reason was to stop me wasting hours and hours on social media the whole time, because in the next 6 months I will be starting my full-time job. It's got all pushed back because of coronavirus, but I will be starting it in a few months, and if I want to keep up with my reading and keep up with YouTube, I need to not spend hours a day scrolling through TikTok. So I was hoping that doing this for a full week would really get me out of that habit, and I'm definitely starting to feel that already on the second day. I'm feeling motivated to read. I normally, if I say like I'm reading a lot in a day, I might do like 100 to 150 pages. But I've already done more than that today and I don't feel like stopping. I'm feeling excited about reading again, which is really, really good. I feel like weirdly having more pressure on me has actually made me less stressed about how much I'm reading, because I have like a set goal every day of I'm reading a book. That's that, I'm doing it, there's no question, I'll do whatever it takes. And so I'm not going on my phone as much, I'm spending less time just wasting time. I'm still not nearly as efficient as I could be. Hopefully by the end of the week I will be doing much, much more efficient things than I am so far. But I'm really happy. I'm surprised by how easy I'm finding this. I'm not feeling burnt out yet. There's still a long way to go. But we're feeling good. So I am ready to finish this and then do even better tomorrow. But I will update you once I finish this, which should be before midnight tonight. Fingers crossed. Okay, quick update at the end of day 2 with wet hair and no makeup because it's really late, but day 2 is a success. The book is finished. 2 days strong. We've got this. I loved this book. Oh my god, I need to like message the person who recommended this to me because I am obsessed and I need to look up more of this person's books so soon and get them. I think this is like number 2 in a series technically, so I need to work out. Yeah, okay, there is one called Rafe in this series, so I need that because I'm thinking from what I can tell that this series kind of follows like a different girl from this whole friend group each time maybe. I'm here for it. This is amazing, so steamy, so good. Oh my god, I love it so much. Day 2 is a success. I'm scared for day 3. Day 3 is a much longer book. I'm nervous because it is already like midnight and I need to edit videos, so it's going to be a late night as well. Wish me luck, but I do have like completely free days the next 3 or 4 days, so we've got this, and I know which books I'm reading, so we've got this. I have faith in myself. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3 because I need to get to bed as soon as I can so I can survive tomorrow. It's raining. No. Hello, so it's day 3 and I am reading the book that was recommended to me by far the most times, which is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. As you just saw, I tried to do some very aesthetic sort of outdoor with the green background filming. Then I remembered I live in England and it's October, and so it started raining, of course, didn't it? It has now stopped raining again, having got home. But I'm not going to try again because I don't trust the weather at all, and I would quite like to keep my camera not rained on if at all possible. So we tried, we got a bit of aesthetic footage. Now I'm going to return to my normal state of reading in bed or indoors at the very least. So I am reading Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I don't know too much about this one. I know it has something to do with the Renaissance fair, which is why I've sort of gone with the like long dress and the green, and I tried with my outfit today. I think it's a decent vibe match, even if not the right green at all, because I do not own clothes this colour. But I don't know, I can't remember if this one is hate to love or fake dating. It's one of the 2 tropes because that's the recommendations I asked for, so we're gonna get straight on with it. I literally read like a page in the park before it started raining. I really didn't get very long at all before it started being horrible weather, but I'm gonna go read now and see how I do. It is a little bit longer, this one. It's the first one over 300 pages. And terrifyingly, the books get longer pretty much every day from here on out, so I'm a little bit scared. but I don't really have much of anything to do today at all. I have a thumbnail to make and that's it. That's all I need to do. I might try and like go for a walk, go to the gym or something, but I do have quite a lot of time. I am, however, stupidly exhausted because I was up editing till about 2 AM yesterday, so I haven't had a whole lot of sleep, so I'm quite tired, so we'll see how it goes, but I think I should be fine to get this done. Day 3, let's see how this goes. Oh, I can't believe I've actually been successful with this. It's quite exciting. Hello, so it is a few hours later. I have read some of this. I'm on page 130, so I've still got almost 200 pages left, which is terrifying because it's already almost 6 o'clock. I'm struggling today. I'm finding this book a lot slower than the two I read the first few days, which isn't a bad thing, but it is making it much more difficult to get through. It's a bit longer. I'm finding it slower. My focus is really not great today. Just a struggle. I'm determined. I'm not going to fail on day 3. I need to at least reach the halfway mark before I fail. So I'm going to keep going. I've been doing some thumbnail making and getting a video ready to go, which is going live in like 20 minutes. So that's all done. I have nothing else to do for like 2 days now, apart from like one more thumbnail to make, but that's not a long job. I do have a few little errands I could do with doing though. So we're going to try and do those quickly because I keep getting to do them, though I might put them off till tomorrow from being a bit lazy. I'm a bit nervous that I'm not going to manage it. I might stay up really late to get this book done, which is not ideal because then I'm tired for tomorrow and then I won't get that book done, especially as the one I'm reading tomorrow is also really quite long. So we're going to keep going. I do still have enough hours to do this. I could probably do this with another 4 hours of really concerted reading, and it is only 6 o'clock, so there's definitely enough time. It's just whether my brain lets me, which is questionable, but we're not giving up yet. We're keeping going. I'll update you later. I am enjoying this book though. I haven't said that. So far it's less what I'm interested in. It's more rom-com than romance, which doesn't entice me quite as much, but we're getting into it. I think it's going to be a hate to love situation, but kind of also a fake dating situation. It's a bit of both. I like the rivalry. The rivalry is like quite good, though I am enjoying it more now that there's a level of interest as well as the rivalry. When it was just the rivalry, it just got a little bit annoying. I am enjoying it. I'm gonna do this somehow, so I will check back in with you later when hopefully I'm further through. Okay, so today has been a roller coaster. It is currently 1 AM. I am still not done. I was doing really badly all day, and then around 5 PM, 6 PM, 7 PM, somewhere there, it picked up. I was doing a lot better. And then it went back downhill again, and I got to about halfway, and about 8 PM I was halfway through the book, and then I did 100 pages in like one sitting through to like 10, 11, somewhere there, like a few distractions, but you know, doing really well, really strong, really happy. And then I put the book down at 11 and it is now 1 AM and I'm still 80 pages, 60 pages, still 60 pages from the end. I am finishing this book if it kills me, but it also means I won't get to sleep for about 2. And I've got another really long book tomorrow. So I'm gonna go read. I may update you tomorrow morning on when I finish this. I might give you a very quick, we did it, going to bed now tonight. We will see. So 60 pages to go. I'm enjoying it more. I'm getting into it more. It took me a long time to get into though, which is a shame. But I'm gonna go frickin' read. It is so late. I am not failing. The determination is real, so I guess we're gonna go read. Okay, so it's super late and I'm going straight to sleep. But I did it. It's 1:30. I did it. 3 for 3. God almighty, I need to get on earlier tomorrow because I need to get some sleep, but that's literally this whole clip. We had a success for day 3. It was tight, it almost didn't happen, but we did it. See you for day 4. Oh, we're almost halfway. I can't believe it's only halfway. We've got this. I can do it. It is day 4 and it is not going well. So I didn't actually really wrap up at all last night because it was really freaking late and I wanted to go to bed. I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the second half much more. I got through it quicker, I got into it more, I got into my stride with reading. But the point of this is not actually how much I like the books, though I do appreciate the recommendations. It's more, can I read a book every single day? And I'm concerned day 4 might be the day that I fail. I'm not sure. I'm reading The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary today. It is 4 o'clock and I've read 60 pages out of 400. I have a gym class in 2 hours, which I have to go to, which is at least an hour and a bit of my time. Got 300 and some pages left. I am so screwed. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I would have to read literally every spare second I have today to get this done, but I've like been running errands. I went to a cafe for a little bit to read and I still didn't read much because I had to sit outside and I got really cold hands, so I stopped reading. Yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm not reading as much as I should, but I'm so freaking determined. I've done 3 days on the trot, which is still good, not complaining, but I want to do this. I can do this, so I'm going to do it. I swear to God, I'm going to do this. So I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna see if I can read maybe 100 pages before I go to the gym, hopefully, and then I'll be almost halfway through, which isn't the worst, so I guess fingers crossed. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this, but we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying. I might have to stay up a bit late, and this is where I get stuck, is if I stay up late, then I'll start later tomorrow because I'll be tired and I won't want to start reading, so I'll just be falling asleep over my book. And that'll push me even further behind, and the book tomorrow is the same length as this one, and the day after is even longer. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna do it though. We're not giving up yet. I don't know if I believe in me, but I'm gonna keep believing in me so that I can do this, because I'm so freaking bloody minded at this point to get this done. So I'm gonna go read instead of talking to you because that's a better use of my time right now. So wish me luck. I will check in with you later when hopefully I've read quite a lot. I've just realised I haven't made any attempt to dress up like my book today. I'm just in a big comfy jumper and like cargo pants. I do apologise. I own nothing this colour, so we're gonna have to skip the outfit thing for day 4. I'll try again tomorrow. I don't know why I just completely forgot about this. I was too stressed about reading the book in time, so fail. But I'm gonna go read and maybe that'll at least be a success. I've been to the gym. I am back from the gym. I am exhausted. And I'm gonna try and read 300 more pages before going to bed. What am I doing? Oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. I've probably got realistically 5 to 6 hours more reading to do. See you at 4 AM, I guess, when I actually finish this book. Oh my God, I'm disgusting, so I've literally just got in from the gym. I'm liking it. It's getting really, really good. There is one character I wish was not in this book. I despise her, but I really like the premise and I'm really enjoying the sort of conversation between the 2 main characters. So at least I like it, but yeah, I'm gonna go die and read. I'm knackered. I cannot even describe how hard this HIT class was. I'm so dead. I'll update you in a few hours when hopefully I've actually read something. We'll see. Okay, so I probably look like I literally just haven't moved in the past how many hours. I don't know what time it even is. It's almost 1:30. Holy frick. I am 100 pages from the end. I was doing really well an hour ago. I'm reading really quickly and like I'll be done by 2. It's all good. Got really distracted, started talking to my brother, chaos. So it's now really late, but I'm still going. Got 100 pages left, which I can read just over an hour. So I will still be asleep by like 2:30, which is fine. But I need to go do that. I'm so determined. I can't even put it into words. Like, I should just go to bed. That would be the sensible thing to do. But like, I'm not doing it. There's no way I'm giving up. I have put too many hours into succeeding into this challenge, and tomorrow should be really quite easy. Thursday is gonna be hell, but tomorrow should be easy. So I'm not giving up. I can do this. So last 100 pages, I'm doing it. Also, loving this. It's a bit meatier than some of the others, so I'm loving it so much. But we'll talk about that later. I need to go read before I fall asleep. Also, I'm just hoping I can do this earlier tomorrow. There is no reason I can't have this done by a really sensible time of day tomorrow instead of the middle of the frickin' night. So even though you can't, hold me to it. I'm gonna do better tomorrow, I promise. I did it. It is about 3 AM. But I finished it. I really like this book. I'm not sure I can form coherent thoughts considering the fact it is 3 AM. But it was really good. I mentioned earlier that it's like a bit meatier than some of the romance books I've read this week, and I think that's really true. It delved into a lot more issues and a lot more details, more hard-hitting things, and I loved every second of it. It was really, really good. It did take me a lot longer to read, and I am so nervous because the books for the next 2 days are, tomorrow's the same length, the one after is even longer, so I'm absolutely terrified. But day 4 was a success. I have now read 4 books in 4 days, which I can't quite believe. I don't think it's sunk in yet that I'm actually doing this. It's just sort of like a thing I have to do each day. I haven't quite realised how insane this is. Like, this is so much more than I ever read. But I'm doing it, we're keeping going. I am pretty confident for tomorrow because I should be pretty free from like midday all the way through the rest of the day, which is really, really good. I'm in bed. You can see I've got my duvet here. I'm literally in bed. I've not moved for hours just trying to get this book done. I'm very, very tired. But I'm really proud of myself. But I'm gonna go to sleep because otherwise if I'm too tired I won't be able to read tomorrow. So I'm going to go to sleep. 4 for 4. I really did not think I'd be saying that. But there we go. 4 for 4. I promise at the end of this video I'll have a proper wrap up talking about all of the books, because I'm realising as the week goes on, as I'm getting more tired, I'm failing to talk about them in any useful way as I'm reading them. I'm just talking about like the experience, which is kind of the point of the video, is can I read this many books? Which seeming like maybe I can. But I will go a quick wrap up of each of the books at the end, as I've not even given a synopsis, I don't think, for yesterday's book or today's book. That'll be at the end. We'll do a quick mini wrap up, as otherwise my wrap up at the end of the month is going to be huge anyway. So that is to come. It will be chaptered down the bottom if you want to just skip straight to the wrap up to know what I thought about the books. But I did it! We did day 4! I'm gonna go to sleep now. Bye! It's day 5. This is the book of the day, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. It's not the same yellow, but it's yellow. It's as close as we're getting. I am exhausted, but still going strong. I've read 100 pages of this morning. It is now about 2 o'clock. I have read 100 pages. I've got a video up ready to go at 6. All that is good. I'm gonna go outside and find somewhere to read. I'm gonna see if I can find like a cafe with outdoor seating where it's actually okay to sit and read for a bit. Maybe stick my head in a bookshop as I'm out, I don't know. I just need to change the scene. I've been in this house a lot for the past few days, spending a lot of time just sitting and reading. But we're going strong. I'm really confident that I'll get this done really early today. I have literally no commitments the rest of the day and probably like maybe 5 hours reading left. So we're gonna get this done in good time so I can get an early night, because I went to sleep way too freaking late last night and I'm too tired. But we're doing it. I feel really positive this morning. I feel really confident that I'm gonna get this done. So that's good. I'm enjoying this one. I'll have more thoughts on it later. This is just we're starting day 5. Day 5! I can't believe we're past the halfway mark now, like well past the halfway mark. I'm quite proud of myself, but we'll see, we'll keep going. Update you later. I wasn't sure whether I was going to make this update. I have failed at vlogging today. I do not know what happened. Around about midday, I just stopped. I stopped filming, I stopped vlogging, I stopped anything. As I mentioned, I went out to a cafe to go and read, went out to the cafe, didn't read at all, not one bit. Came home, also didn't read, and so with like 320 pages left, I started reading it at 8 o'clock. And that's generous. Honestly, I read a tiny bit at 8 and then probably started reading at about 10, which is not ideal when you have the majority of a book to read, but I did it. It's 1:30. I thought it would be later. This was quick as hell to get through. So fun. Massively enjoyed it. Really cute. I am in love with the love interest, like a lot, so he's amazing. I'm not sure I have coherent thoughts at this time of day when I have read 5 books in 5 days. My brain is exploding. I'm so tired, and I was really hoping I'd finish this book at like 6 p.m. so I could like journal or watch some TV or do something to take my mind off reading, because although I love reading and this challenge is going weirdly well, I'm kind of feel like I need a bit of a break, but guess what? Don't have time for that. So we're carrying on. 5 for 5. I cannot believe I've read 5 books in 5 days. That's almost as much as I read in the whole of September. And it's the 7th of October. I'm really freaking proud of myself, but we have 2 days to go. I am beyond terrified for tomorrow because I have a session at the gym, which will take like a minimum hour and a half of my time, plus the time where I'm dead afterwards. And then I have a 2-hour long event with my company. Yeah, so I have to go to that as well, which is great. Yeah, so that's minimum of about 4 hours of my day gone. And that will run, I'll be busy from about 11:30 in the morning till about 6:30 in the evening, like on and off, but realistically I won't be able to get much reading done. And I have the longest book tomorrow. So I'm kind of screwed. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I didn't, when I planned which day I was doing which book, I didn't know I had the work event, which is like a good few hours and will be really tiring, but I'm just gonna have to try and get up relatively early, even though it's already really freaking late and I'm tired. and get a bit done in the morning if I can before the gym, try and squeeze some in between the gym and my work call, and then from like 6:30 onwards just read solidly till it's done, which I know I can do, and it's a really fun book tomorrow. Yeah, wish me luck. I'm so scared for tomorrow, but I don't know why I'm telling you this now. I should be telling you this tomorrow morning. It's late and I'm rambling. I'm gonna go, oh, why did I do this? It's great, but why did I do this? Who knows, but it's going well, 5 for 5. Woo. Hi, it is day 6. It is 8 p.m. I haven't updated you so far today, and the reason I have not updated you so far today is I have not started reading yet today. I reiterate, it is 8 p.m. and I have not started reading, and I have to read a whole book. This was not intentional. I've had a very busy day. As I mentioned, I think in the last clip yesterday, I was going to be busy today. I was even busier than I anticipated. Everything overran, I've been tired, etc, etc. So it's hella late and I have a lot to read. So we are having a very slight change of plan in that I was meant to read boyfriend material today, which I am dying to read. This is probably my most anticipated book of the week, but it is 430 pages long, which I am not going to read in the next 5 or 6 hours, which is when I'd like to go to sleep. So we are switching to the Bromance book club, which is hopefully a much quicker read as it's just over 300 pages. That's attainable. That's not. So we're going with the Bromance book club. This, I think, is about a guy who is like already married and having like problems in his marriage. So he starts a book club with lots of other married men for them to like research what women really want and like make their wives happy, I think, which sounds really cute. I've heard really good things about this. It better be quick. I don't have time for this to not be quick. I'm terrified. I'm so exhausted. I've had a very busy day. I've had quite a draining day. As I mentioned, I had like a big work call and stuff, which was great, but tiring. Yeah, it's been a day, but I'm not giving up. I'm so close. We've managed 5 and 5. There's no way I'm giving up on this challenge now. So I'm gonna go read Bromance Book Club. You may notice I am not dressed like the book. Sorry. It's not happening today. I'm sorry. I know. That's being abandoned. The fact that I'm even still attempting to read a book at this time of day is astonishing to me. So that'll do. Have chocolate cake, have a drink, have a book. We're gonna go read. Update, it's been an hour. I still haven't started the book. Someone explain to me why I don't want to read today. I don't have the time not to read. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be up so damn late, but I can't give up. I've done 5 days of this. I've only got 2 days left. I can do this. I just actually have to pick up the book. That is sadly a part of reading a book in a day. It does require picking up the book and beginning to read it. So that's the slight stumbling block we're running into. Someone needs to freaking yell at me to read right now. I don't know why. I'm just so tired. I've had such a long day. I'm not like being on a 3-hour-long Zoom call with my bosses and my colleagues who I haven't met yet. I don't know if I've explained this. I don't start my job till February. So it's a 3-hour-long Zoom call chatting to and speaking to people I've never met who I'm going to be working with. And so kind of have to be quite professional with and kind of impress whilst also trying to like deal with the world. So it was tiring and really fun, but why am I not reading? I'm gonna go read, I swear. If I had another update and I haven't read yet, I'm not gonna cancel the video because I put way too much effort into it, but you guys get to just like yell at me in the comments. So have your yelling comments ready because I deserve them. Okay, so my camera's in literally the same spot as it was when I last updated you, but it's 3 AM and I do not feel like putting the effort into moving it. But I only went and bloody did it. I did not think I was gonna be saying I managed 6 and 6, but I did it. Didn't love. Very torn about this book. Will do big thoughts at the end because I'm not sure I can compute properly. Lots of very cute moments, some really nice lessons, some moments which made me really quite uncomfortable. It felt a teensy bit manipulative. I think I vaguely explained at the beginning this is about a guy basically joining a book club to read romance books to do what his wife wants him to because they're having like problems. And there's a whole group of guys that do this and it's a really good message of like thinking about and researching basically what someone wants instead of just like getting offended that they're not communicating with you well necessarily, or that you're missing things. Love that message. It felt a little bit manipulative because, at least to me, for a lot of the time, it didn't feel like they were doing this for their wives. It felt like they were doing it so they could get back in their wives' good books. It felt very self-serving, and I know like all good things are kind of self-serving to an extent, but it felt a little bit at times like the reasoning behind their good deeds was a little bit too selfish, and therefore it made it all feel a bit calculated and manipulative. But as I said, proper thoughts coming at the end. We'll do a full-on wrap-up because we're going to have 7 books to talk about if things go to plan. But I did it. I read this in about 5.5 hours. I just sort of sat and solidly read. I've obviously had a few like small breaks, but I am astonished that I did this. Starting a book at about 9:30 in the evening. I did not think I'd be saying that I'd actually finished it. But I did it. Now there's only 1 day to go. I can do that. I've not got too much on tomorrow. I need to do some filming and ideally edit a video, but I can edit into the middle of the night if I need to. So I'm literally just going to get up, probably not early because it's 3 AM and I'd quite like to sleep for quite a long time. But I'm going to get up, I'm going to read. And I'll try and update you a bit more tomorrow because I've been really, really, really bad at updating you today, to say the least. Because I didn't start till so late, as you know. So yeah, 1 book to go, and it's probably the one I'm most excited for. I'm really, really excited for it. I think it's going to be really fun. I'll see you then for day 7. I cannot believe this is almost done. This has felt like a really, really long week. And also like, I feel like I've just got so in the routine of reading a book all day that it doesn't feel like it's dragged on too long, but I don't, like, I feel like if I had more hours in the day, I could just keep doing this every single day. Like, it's actually not felt that strenuous, weirdly. It's felt stressful because I'm trying to fit them in and I keep not getting on with it till really late in the day. But weirdly, it feels like I could continue doing this. Don't have enough hours, not continue doing this, but not quite as bad as I thought. But we'll talk more about this whole experience tomorrow when it is done, I would imagine. 6 for 6! I'm so happy! This is nuts! I cannot believe I am saying this. It's day 7. It is the last day. Oh my god. I think I updated you maybe at 3 AM when I finished the previous one. I was delirious. I do not know. But it's the last day and we are reading Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. It matches my jumper. This is blue. It's a dark blue, but I promise it's blue, not black. But like, look at that. Matching. Very satisfying. It's as close as we're getting to effort at this point in the video. But yes, I've just finished filming for the day, hence actually having a nice setup. So we're gonna get on with reading. It is 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's kind of late and this is 400 pages. I did read 25 pages this morning before I got on with the day. And I'm very intrigued, to say the least. I'm really, really intrigued by this. I think this follows a son of a celebrity who's maybe fake dating someone. I'm not sure yet, but it sounds really, really good. It was an interesting writing style. It's so British. I'm obsessed with how British this is. Lots of like colloquial swearing, which is exactly how young people in Britain speak. I love it. The main character's 28, which surprised me when I was reading the first few pages. I thought he was like maybe 22 to 25 at a push. But he's 28, just a bit older than he reads, but doesn't really matter. But I'm doing this. I have 7 hours to the end of the day. Maybe I'll get it done before midnight. Maybe I won't. We will see. But I will get it done. I cannot believe I have made it to day 7. I really thought I'd fail a lot earlier than this, but we haven't, and we're going to succeed. And I'm going to read 7 books in 7 days. But to do that, I need to go and get on with it instead of talking to you. So I will catch you in a bit when I've read something. Hopefully. I'm not having a repeat of yesterday starting the book at 9 PM. That was a mistake. We're starting today much earlier, though not as early as I planned. Every single day I've thought I was going to start reading at like 9 or 10 AM and I never start until mid-afternoon, evening. Which has told me quite a lot about my reading habits, which I didn't realise. So that's been interesting to learn throughout this week. But either way, I need to go get on with it. I am absolutely gutted to be making this update. It is Monday. I was meant to finish this challenge on Friday and I failed on the last day. I cannot believe it. I hit an absolute wall. around 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock. I'd just started, I'd done like maybe 50 to 100 pages, and I hit an absolute wall. I got very distracted. I was doing other things, even just like going on my phone. I just didn't have the mental capacity to read. And around 10, 11 o'clock, it picked back up. I got back into reading a bit. But the problem was I was reading a really freaking long book. And I worked out that I would have needed to read till about 7 a.m, I think. It was about 4 a.m. that I gave up. And I was 150 pages from the end. So I would have had to stay up till about 7 a.m. at the speed I was reading to get it done. And however much I wanted to win this challenge, I wasn't staying up till 7 a.m. I couldn't do it. I was too tired. I was exhausted from the week. You know, it gets to the point where I won't enjoy the book simply because of the circumstances in which I'm reading it, which then makes it completely pointless because I'm not just doing this for the challenge. I am actually trying to read books that I enjoy. I have now finished this. I finished it on Sunday. I was busy all day Saturday, which is another reason I didn't keep going, because although I could have stayed up till 7 a.m. and just slept all day Saturday, I was watching a concert and I was going out, and I just knew that it wasn't going to be time at all. So I didn't want to be too exhausted for Saturday. So I didn't finish this on Saturday either. I finished it on Sunday, just during the day. I have finished it. I did do 7 books. I did 6.5 books in 7 days. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of that. That is so much more than I normally read. But it is a little bit frustrating because I was so close. I mean, I guess it just means at some point I'm going to have to try again. I don't know when. I need to recuperate for a very long time before attempting it again. But yeah, annoyed to say the least, but I did really well nonetheless. But as we are here and it's a few days later and this video needs to go up today, so yes, again, leaving it last minute, I am going to quickly run through my thoughts on all the books and sort of how I think they did as a recommendation for me, because as I've already mentioned, these were all recommended to me pretty much. So sort of going to go through how I think these did as recommendations for me and how I thought of them. And I might try and like rank them quickly. Yeah, just very quick thoughts on each one though. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to go through my thoughts on each book from the book that I liked the least through to the one I liked the most, though around the middle and the top, like there's some which are kind of on a level playing field. I've not got them fully ranked. But we are starting with the one I liked the least, which is the Bromance book club. I mentioned this briefly, that I didn't love it, and to me it felt too manipulative. I wanted to love this, and the cute moments were really cute. And as I said earlier, I loved the message of learning what your partner needs and like helping them with that and sort of doing what they need instead of just being in your own head the whole time. That was brilliant, but it was handled really poorly. I completely understand, just this could be kind of spoilery, but not really. This guy literally recites lines from romance books to his wife, and I understand he's doing that because he can't think of a way of putting them into words himself. I get that. But it doesn't feel like that for most of the book. You see his internal monologue a lot, and he's very much saying like, oh, if I do this, she'll like this, oh, she'll do this. But it's not, she will like it and enjoy it, and therefore I'm doing a nice thing. It's, if she likes and enjoys it, then I benefit. And it just felt a bit creepy. I'm in two minds. I liked the idea of trying to win her back, but I didn't necessarily like how it was gone about. I felt like he could have learnt the lessons from the books and then applied them. And it also felt like he was only successfully changing in any way when mimicking, instead of actually getting to the nitty gritty of what he'd been doing wrong and addressing that. And it got better with that towards the end, but too much of it made me uncomfy. I didn't really dislike it, like it's probably a 3-star or something, so it's not like I hated it, but of these 7, this was my least favourite. Next was Unfortunately Well Met. This was recommended to me so many times by so many people, but it didn't do it for me. I didn't dislike it, and I really liked the probably second half. The first half bugged me to no end because these people just hated each other. There wasn't any like tension, they just hated each other. But what annoyed me most was the miscommunication. This book could have finished 200 pages earlier if the two main characters had just sat down and spoken to each other. That's it. There was so much of, oh, he might be angry, oh, I don't know, Why just have a conversation? You are adults, you can talk about this, you can work out how you're both feeling. And I realised both of them were being a bit cagey because they were cautious and all of that. I understand it, and it's not always easy to talk to someone, but it was infuriating. I just really wanted them to have a conversation, so wasn't the biggest fan of this one, unfortunately, though it did get, as I said, it got really cute at the end, which I did like a lot. Next, both unfortunately and surprisingly, is boyfriend material. I thought I would absolutely love this, and I did. I did like that the main character is quite different from a lot of protagonists. He's dealing with a lot of things, and he really learns so much about himself throughout this book and about his actions and how to sort of do better, which I really appreciated. My problem was, it's not a problem, I think it's just, this is on me more than the book. I liked how the book probably painted him in a very realistic light, in that you don't just make a mistake once and learn from it and move on. Like, he made these mistakes repeatedly, and every time he was doing better, he would get something wrong again, which is probably realistic for someone who's dealing with a lot of things, like he is in this book. But I personally just found myself spending so much of this book almost yelling at it for him to just make the right decision, because you could see he wanted to, and you could see he was trying to. And I think I just found it that tiny bit too frustrating. Like, it's a really fine line between really realistic and actually just a bit annoying to read about. So I feel like this kind of slightly went on the wrong side. And also, I loved his growth in his learning throughout this book. It happened really suddenly. So he kept making mistakes, and then went, oh no, I'm good. And then got like insanely emotionally intelligent really fast, to the extent that when the other guy then started making the same mistakes, he could identify it and help him instantly. And I was like, I'm not sure that quite makes sense. He's just figured out for himself how to make sense of things. Like, it just didn't seem logical that he was then basically a therapist and just knew everything. So not the best, very infuriating. Really long, but I didn't mind that. It was quite a slower read for me. Yeah, a lot of interesting things covered though, about like relationship dynamics and how people act in relationships for themselves and for other people. So I did enjoy that a lot, but teensy bit too frustrating for me. The next two I can't decide which I prefer, which are the Unhoneymooners and Meet Cute Club. So we'll talk about the Unhoneymooners first. This was amazing. This was hate to love. I loved this one so much. The tension between these two characters was done so well, and this I actually thought was a good use of the miscommunication trope, in that before this book started there's been one very small miscommunication which then over the years has just gone nuts, and these two have ended up hating each other because they think the other one does, basically, and that's the only reason. And I'm not even sure that should have worked, but it really did, and I feel like it's actually extremely realistic for how miscommunication happens. It's not these repeated instances of confusion, it's just you get a bad vibe off someone when you first meet them, and then you kind of hold a grudge, and then they kind of hold a grudge, and it just escalates, which is exactly how people act, and I've been in situations exactly like that. So I thought that was really well done. They were adorable together. I loved that. I loved the end with the main character's sister and the whole situation there. I obviously will not spoil it, but yes, just freaking powerful. So good. So this was really, really, really good. I really, really liked this. I loved as well that even through everything, the sisters stuck together. Like, obviously there were moments of tension, but they were there for each other. Like, screw the guys they were with, they were there for each other, which was really nice. So very, very much a fan of this one. And then Meet Cute Club, which I read over a week ago now, so I'm struggling to remember, but I remember I really enjoyed. I think this was one of those just super fluffy, super fun, cute romances. I can't remember what else happens in it, but I remember it being really, 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 really cute, and just male, LGBT, great fun. I loved this one. It's about a book club where they read romance books, and it's, I don't have the words for this one because I'm really struggling to remember exactly what happens. The problem with reading 7 books in 7 days is they all get merged together, but this one was really, really good and really short if you want a quick little read, so highly recommend that one. And then the final two, my favourites of the week. I'm not sure which one's my favourite, but they are The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary and Xeni by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I'm going to talk about The Flatshare first quickly. So this is a very, very British book, which I always like, especially with romance books. I really enjoy them being set in England. It's just fun, as obviously I'm from the UK, and it's just really fun. This was set in London as well, which felt very, very fun because I'm hopefully moving to London the next year or so, so it's just exciting and fun. This was adorable. I cannot cope with this. So I mentioned before at the beginning, this is about a girl who ends up sharing a flat with someone, and so she is there all night and he is there all day because he works night shifts, and then she also gets to stay there on the weekends, and they end up communicating through post-it notes, and it is the cutest thing. Oh my god, the little post-it note conversations are so cute. The 2 different voices in this book were done so well. His was quite jarring. It was really like note-taking, really succinct sentences, didn't use pronouns, just kind of got on with it. But it fit his character very well. I really enjoyed it. It made it really easy to know whose head you were in. And also it's not too dissimilar from how like my thought process is. Like when I'm writing messages to people, I regularly just kind of start a sentence midway through and do it in like note form, and then realise that doesn't make sense to most people, but that's just, I'm that sort of quick, short, sharp sort of thing, which makes no sense considering how much I ramble, but when I'm texting, that's what I'm like. So it was quite fun for me to read. This was adorable. I loved how this was all about like working through trauma as well, and like past relationships that could be really damaging and all sorts. So good, so fun. highly recommend. Much meatier than a lot of romances. I like this got into a lot of other things on top of just the cute romance. And then finally is Xeni by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This was amazing. This was probably the steamiest of the books I read this week, if I remember correctly. This follows a girl who has to marry a guy by her aunt's sort of command to access her inheritance after her aunt has died. And there's a lot of family drama and sort of things going on there for both of the protagonists. Both protagonists are bisexual, but in a male-female pairing, which, brilliant, love that. Both of them are amazing. She's strong and knows what she wants, and he's adorable and soft and just the cutest thing. It's so good. I love seeing the family dynamics, or like the found family especially of his side, and oh, it's just so good. If you want a kick-ass girl with a Scottish ridiculous guy who is just a sweetie, this is the book for you. It's really good. I'm absolutely going to be looking at Rebecca Weatherspoon and finding more books from her because I loved this one so much, and thank you for recommending this to me. Thank you so much. So those are all the books. It's over 2,000 pages I've read, which is almost as much as I read in the whole of September, so I'm pretty damn chuffed with that. It was a tough week. I think the exhaustion got to me. I need to do it in a week where I've got a bit less on so that I have more time to chill, because I was spending at least realistically 6 hours a day reading. In some of the longer books, probably closer to 7 or 8. So yeah, it's a lot of hours. I mean, yes, that's just like a full-time job, but I'm doing everything I normally do on top of that, which isn't too much. And I had pre-filmed and pre-edited some videos to make my life a bit easier. I did fail to get a video up on Saturday because of this. I was just too tired to edit it that night, so I just didn't get it up. So I would do it with better preparation and more time and more sleep, I think would be the way if I was ever to do this again. But I'm really proud of myself, and this has absolutely kicked me out of a reading slump. That much I can guarantee. Definitely did well for that. So I'm very happy I did it. And thank you all for all of your book suggestions. Overall, they were pretty spot on. There were only 2 I didn't love, and then 1 other which was like, it was alright, just wasn't my favourite. Like, I didn't dislike any of them. There was just, you know, some I liked more than others, which there's always going to be. But the recommendations were on point for like what tropes they featured and what things they feature. There was a good chance of me liking every single one of these books. But that's it. It's done. I'm gonna go sleep for a week once this video is edited. I think I'm kind of tired still. But that's it. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please comment down below any other reading challenges you would like me to try. I've really enjoyed doing this. If you have any ideas for other similar challenges, please tell me because I want to do them. Please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. All the links to my other social media are in the description, as they always are, as are links to all of these books if you want to go and look them up. But that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Bye, and I'll see you in the next one.